Good day, class. We continue our lecture on Automata today with finite state transducers. So, what are finite state transducers? Finite state transducers are FSTs with output. FSTs in the sense that they read inputs just like FSTs with output, FSTs with finite state transducers with output. FSAs with output in the sense that they take in input just like FSAs, which is finite state transducers, and they produce output. The goal of finite state transducers is to see what kind of output can be produced given a set of strings, as compared to FSAs, where you want to see if you can get to the final state given a set of strings. So mark that difference. FSAs basically want to move from the initial state to the final state. We want to see can you get to the final state. Then if it gets to the final, you can then say that the string is part of the alphabet of the machine. But if not, you say it's not part of the alphabet of the machine. Well, in finite state transducers, the goal is to see what kind of output do you get, and not necessarily, of course, FSTs don't even have a final state. We'll go and get there. You see that FSTs, excuse me, if I said FSTs don't have final states. Of course, FSAs have final states. FST, they don't have final states. If you want to just know if you can get to the final state given a set of inputs. So that means that FSTs have two alphabets: the input alphabet and the output alphabet. So FST starts out in a designated start state and jumps to different states depending on the input while producing an output. So there are two main types of finite state transducers, which are the milli machine and the Moore machine. The truth is that you can model machines with either one. Both of them have their pros and their cons, but for now, just know that these two can be used to model machines that need output. There are, of course, a common misconception is to say that you can model some machines with the milli machine, while you can model some with the Moore machine. No, you can model machines, whatever it is, with either the milli or the Moore machine, so far you need an output. So it all depends on how you conceptualize the problem you're trying to solve. So what's the difference between the milli machine and the Moore machine? Milli machines the output of the milli machine depends on both the present state and the present change rate. That is very important. Don't make that mistake. That's only because it's common. It's a common mistake. Many machines depend on both the present state and the present input of the machine. One machine, on the other hand, depends only on the present state. Many machines basically have fewer states than the Moore machine, while milli machines have more states than milli machines. Output changes at clock edges for milli machines, while input change can cause change in output as soon as logic is done in milli machines. Milli machines react faster to input, while Moore machines in Moore machines more logic is needed to decode the input, since it has more circuit delay. There are other differences, but this is just some. You can try and find out more differences in milli machines and Moore machines. Now on milli machine, actually both FSTs, milli machine and Moore machine, have 6 tuples. There is 6 tuple machine. Of course, you know what tuples are now. They are the elements that make up of a particular subset, but in this case, our machines, finite state transducers. So they are composed of 6 tuples. Q, which is a finite set of states. You are familiar with Q by now. The sigma, which is a finite set of symbols called the input alphabet. You are quite familiar with those. Here now to the difference between FSCs and FSA now. O is a finite set of symbols called the output alphabet, not word output alphabet. It's different from input alphabet. Sigma is no, that's row, not sigma. Row is the input transition function, so that when we have Q that takes in input alphabet, we go to a different state. Now, this is also another difference. We are not familiar with these two. X. Now, X is the output transition function where X is such that once you have a state and you have input alphabet, you get an output. Of course, P naught is the initial state from where any input is processed, and P naught is a subset. Is an element, not a subset. It's an element of Q. So we have this. This is an example of a mini machine transition table. I'm going to try and design the mini machine, and let's see what it's going to look like. So this is not the difference between this and your normal FSA transition table. First of all, you only have next bit here. You don't have input. Once you have next bit, you have the input 0 and the input 1. You don't have this output in the normal FSA that you've always done. You don't have output. All you just have is next bit, then input of input, then you have the various input. And then say, okay, at this point you want to get there, you see this input, you go to this state and all. You don't have output there. And note that as every input going to a state, you have an output. That's one of the differences between a mini and a normal machine. Please note that. We've said that was the first point we mentioned earlier on. The output of a mini machine is dependent on both the states and the transition. And I think that's it. So let's go ahead and design this machine and see how we can. Okay, so to design this machine, I start off my JFlap again. Here is my JFlap. So you guys are familiar with JFlap by now. Don't find it here and it's JFlap. So so we have this. I'm going to go to mini machine. So I'm getting to mini machine. Let me just put it here. Now I have my interface for mini machine. So let's start. Basically, we have first state labeled A, B, C, D. From there you can see all the states of this machine. So let me just get my state. I need 4, 2, 3, 4. And I'll change the labels soon enough. So okay, now let's change the labels. Let's call this one the initial state. Let's change let's set the name to A. Grab A here. Let's call this B. Let's call this C. And let's call this D. One of the questions I got from you guys is, must name be Q0, Q1, Q2, or must it be 1, 2, 3? And like I said, it's just whatever it is you call it, must be consistent. It's not as if you call it A, B, C here, and you come to the transition table, and that's it, now Q1, Q2, Q2. That's automatic 0. Automatic 0. So please, whatever it is you're naming, be consistent with it. That's the most important thing to say at that point. So now, at state A, if A goes to B, this is state, A goes to B on input of 0. So input 0, A goes to B. Now, look at this. Look, I hope you guys can see this. Initially, when you guys were working on FSAs, once you create a transition, you only have just the input. Now look at this. It's already telling me to put in an output. You can see output. And see, this is the input, and this is the output. So let me for the input. This is input of 0, and the output is x1. Can you see that? Now, still on state A. So on input of 1, so I go to C. So let me bring in my C here. In the C. drag this down here. So it asks for, so the input here is 1, and the output here is also x1. I hope I'm right. Yeah, I think that should be right. So I'm done with it. So for B, so B stays on B on input of 0. B stays on B on input of B stays on B on input of 0 and produces an output of x2. So that's what we have over there. It also then goes to D. Let's bring in D up here. So it goes to D on 1 and also produces an output of x2. How about the x2? Let me enlarge it to be sure. Yes, it's still x2 because it looks like x3. I think that's x3, that's not x2. It's x3. You look at it, it's x3. So let's go back. So I'll input of 1 here and have x3 over here. So I'm done with B. So on C, C goes to D on 1. C goes to D. C goes to D on 0 and produces an output of x3 also. X3 also, while C remains on C on 1. C remains on C on 1 and produces an output of x1. What's wrong with C? Then D remains on D on 0. D remains on D. D remains on D on 0 and produces an output of, I think that should be x3 now, I'll come right. Yes, that should be x3. So D also remains on D on 1 and produces an output of x2. Let me be sure of that. Yes, x2. Okay, so this is x2. Now I'm done with my design. So like I said the other time, you may be wondering why is there no output. Now check it out. If I right click on any of the states, excuse me, I have to take that out. I was just trying to show you. So if you right click on any of the states, you see the options that you can have. Now you won't find final state here that you always have in finite automation. You will never find it because, like I said earlier on, the goal is to see the output you will get and not just getting the final state. So we need to then test on this to see what kind of output we get. We'll continue with that in the next video.